Now, dear watchers of my YouTube, do you want to know what I've got in this little box? Little box of tricks. Look at this. The Wild Unknown Archetypes by Krans. Now, we all know about the archetypes, right? For those of you who don't know about the archetypes, there's a theory, and you really haven't got to look too far to recognise probably the truth of this theory. That there are only so many roles we can play in life, right? There are only so many parts to be played. There's the archetype of the mother, right? The archetype of the hero. Accept all, reject none, this box says. It's an absolutely beautiful set of weird cards, these are. I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm opening these with you because we're going to learn them together. Dear lovely YouTubers and watchers of my YouTube, we're going to learn how useful these cards are. We're going to figure out what we're going to use them for and where they fit in on the tarot readings. Because I keep seeing them on other people's readings, like White for the Tarot uses these, and so does Monthly Moon Magic, although I think she does hers weekly. They're weird little round discs. Look, are they coming around the box? Feels like powder. They get stuck in there. I guess that's what this is for, so you don't get them stuck. So you put the cards in over there and then you pull that and they all come out, possibly. I don't think they're going to be anything like the archetypes, like the Carl Jung's work he did with the archetypes, didn't he? I doubt that they're going to be traditional. Something tells me these are not going to be traditional cards, right? Let's have a look at the guidebook, shall we? Let's see. The Wild Unknown for Mazzy, held eternal in the sky. Okay, this is the mother, the father, the starborn, the eternal child. And there's a whole list of these here of the selves, and then there's the places: the heart, the cave, the mountain, the river, the ocean, the forest, etc. Then there's the tools and the initiations. Okay, the ocean within the mountain. It is possible that archetypes have their own agendas, their own work to do on us. With that in mind, I offer you my story. It had been about 4 years since I drew the Wild Unknown tarot deck. I wasn't sure what was next for me. My days were full, yet lacked enchantment. I kept up with my usual practices of meditation, yoga, drawing and creating. I worked hard as I had a successful business to maintain and material investments to accumulate. From afar, my life looked figured out, whatever that means, imagine what you will. Somewhere along this dull line of the life I thought I should live, I met a new friend, and she told me about a master's program with a depth, psychological, Jungian approach to creativity. As she spoke, the words archetype, dreams, image, theatre, alchemy and myth rattled and sparkled. 2 weeks later, I found myself in Southern California, milling around the school's campus as a prospective student. That evening, I attended a workshop on the role of the individual in a troubled world, led by mythologist Michael Meade. I sang new songs and heard new stories, and after the workshop I drove the hilly coastal highway to a friend's house by the ocean, knowing something was shifting inside me. I arrived at her house as the moon began to rise, and I fell asleep hard. And that night I had a dream, a big dream, as they are sometimes called, the ones that stick with you, the image, the phrase or scene that you can't shake, understand or resolve. And mine was simple. There is a mountain. It says, I am the mountain and I am calling you. I wake up. Oh, and then this person goes on to tell their story. There's lots of it. Maybe I will read you some more of that, or maybe I will get you to go and buy it yourself, the Archetypes guidebook by Krans. And I think I'm probably going to have to read the book before I use the archetypes. Because there's a lot to learn about them all, aren't there? There's a lot to learn about the shadow, the gem, Gnosis, the maiden, the orphan, the mentor. I do sometimes feel like I want to do my tarot in a circle though sometimes. The womb, the desert, here's the places. The bridge, maybe that's a tool. The temple could be a place. The river, I think, is the place. The mother is definitely an archetype. Okay, so I'm going to take out the archetypes that I know what they mean. The unseen, the mountain, place, Thanatos, apocalypsis, the dead end. Interesting, I don't know where that belongs. The empty room. These are all empty places. Places where things can be filled up. The shapeshifter, the crone, I like that one, it's got quite a big crow on it. The ring could be a tool. The vision, the self. Okay, so I'm going to play with these cards and I'm going to learn what they mean, and then I'm going to open them with you, dear lovely YouTube watchers. The prayer, the forest, aren't they lovely? The venom, ooh, the comic, the hunter, the warrior. Oh, I really like these, they're great, aren't they? Look, the queen. Oh yes, the king, the queen, the nectar. Don't know what that is that a tool? The medallion could be a tool. The kiss, tool. The mask, the sword. It's very definitive, isn't it? The lover, that's definitely an archetype. Yeah, so back to this archetype story. It's almost as if we're born with a DNA, a blueprint in our DNA that leads us to be the siren, or it leads us to be the mother, the pilgrim. You know, any one of these archetypes, this is who we are, the creator in this world. Now, people have got all different sorts of theories about what these archetypes mean, but it is like, you know, when you're playing a computer game and you can play a character and that character is just being that person, and that you can't go outside of those parameters. And it's like, just supposing you were here as a catalyst, but you're a person that's going to create a lot of drama for other people. Yeah, you understand that idea that that person was going to take those steps already. So it feels like fate. Whenever the person is behaving in a certain way, that person had no choice, right? So that's what these cards are saying. They're saying that this is your fate. This was in the blueprint of your life before you got here. Okay. Now, whether you believe we live in a simulated reality or not, when you look at these archetypal roles, like the mother and the father, it's so easy to see that, oh, okay, yeah, that's your role. And then whether you question whether a person has a choice in playing that role, that's one for your own personal philosophy. Whether you think the purpose of having an archetypal blueprint for your life is to overcome it or to live it to the best of your ability. Again, another one for your own philosophical. What is the purpose of life? Why are we here? What are we doing here? You know? The crone, the mother, the unseen, the mentor, the poet. They're absolutely beautiful cards though, aren't they? Really gorgeous. They've got such amazing imagery on them. The orphan, the poet. So I'm going to plan on learning these, some sort of reading with them, and I recognise it's going to take time because there are a lot of them to learn, and I can imagine that the person who created these put the words together knowing that there are other people that can put thousands and thousands of more words on them. Do you understand what I'm saying? I find it amazing that people who can create this level of art and this level of design can also do the words. Okay, and it all looks like a history of mythology and fate. Look, we've got all these eyes. Should we pick out the ones that have got eyes, eye-related things on them, until we know what they mean? Maybe we can learn what 3 of them mean at a time. That's not a bad idea, is it? because there are 3 different types of card there. So what did it say at the beginning? The guidebook, it said the selves, the places, the tools, the initiations. Okay, so there's 4 types, the initiations. So I picked the Kairos one, which is page 219. Let's have a little look. It says, the word evil comes from the root unripe. Consider that everything has a time of ripeness, when it becomes a nourishing fruit and sweet to the lips. Okay, we have all had the experience of timelessness. That's this one, this little Kairos with a blue eye in the middle. Of life beyond the ticking of the clock. It may be felt as time standing still and slow motion, or losing track of time on a walk or in a lovely conversation. This is known as mythic time, and it is the territory of Kairos. This card suggests there is a secondary time continuum that goes beyond any earthly clocks and schedules, and within this non-linear realm we access divine timing. A single moment ripens with auspiciousness, and our actions change the trajectory of our whole life. Time becomes a living thing that watches over us and tells us precisely when to speak or act. When this card appears, it is all about patience and precision, and no clock can guide you. Wait for the rush of inner knowing and not a moment longer. Yeah, this is the fate. Words Chronos and Kairos. Okay, yeah. TikTok, the Chronos, isn't it? The chronology of everything, as if everything has steps and you have to follow the steps in order to get to the final event. And events in your life, they're already played out, they're already there. And how you're going to play out your role will be dependent on how open you are to be able to receiving those hunches on the inside. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's have a look. The vision. The vision. Number 175. LV. Pair of owls. It says you can gauge how connected you are to your vision by how tired you are. Since the vision feeds us energy, it affects our life, force and vitality. Okay, does anybody have an understanding of that? Let me know. The dream, the imagined and the revealed. It is said that we are each born with a unique vision, a destiny towards which we are aimed. It is also said that we forget this vision the moment we are born. Thus we are sent on a lifelong journey of rediscovery. Such is the elusive nature of the vision. It slips away, yet it guides. It appears in strange dreams and surreal images, seemingly unattainable and preposterous. When we are connected to the vision, we carry an inspired, enchanted aliveness that others recognise. We trust the world and its synchronicities. We walk through new doors into wondrous opportunities. We all want to be near those with vision. They emit energy more potent than any elixir. When we lose connection to the vision, life becomes dull and exhausting, lacking meaning. Bring back the mystery and bring back the dreams. This is imagination, synchronicity and trust. Well, that's an amazing card. I love that card. I love the idea of being a visionary. You know, when you look into the future, which is very similar to what these cards do, isn't it? Sometimes you open the cards and you can see a story unfold for a person that they can't see for themselves. And you say, this is possible for you, this is what can happen for you. And then the person either reaches for it or they don't, and they step into that path or they don't. They can see the vision as well or they can't. And if you can vision a story for people and you can bring a story into people's lives just by fortune of your imagination, then that is an amazing gift in itself, isn't it? What I'm going to do in a minute, when I've understood the meaning of the unseen one as well, I'm going to put some cards on these piles. So whichever one you feel that you can relate to more, So there's either the idea that everything happens with divine timing and that there is a higher self who can help to guide you to say the right thing and do the right thing at the right time, or whether you can have the power to link up to the vision. I was going to say the unseen, but that's the unseen. That you have got the power to link up to the vision yourself and to follow the synchronicities that guide you on your path. And each of these come with the basic understanding that it's already there. And the unseen. Being graced by the unseen is a gift. Treat it kindly. Allow yourself to be seen by eternal eyes. And if ever you felt like you're in the Truman Show, I'm pretty sure that this simulated reality that we could well be in means that there are higher forces watching what we do, aren't there? The spirit, the ancestor, the eternal. The unseen is just as it sounds. We cannot see it, yet it sees us, watching and waiting with wisdom, both kind and instructive. And we feel this presence. Sometimes you can feel as though something bigger than yourself is paying attention to you. We can sense it, intuit it, and then doubt its existence, though it rallies our attention time and time again. The energy of the unseen may come in many forms: a compelling dream, a sudden insight, a clear voice, a vision, or message from a loved one who has passed to the other side. It is natural to fear these communications as they challenge our perception of what is real. When this card appears, your guides are near. The eternal is present. The doorway between worlds is ajar. Listen. The sounds may seem as though they come from a distant land, but they call from your innermost chambers. So whispers of wisdom and clairvoyance. Guidance comes in many forms. Don't expect it to be glittery or comfortable. The spirit world speaks the truth, and sometimes it soothes and sometimes it burns. I'm going to use one of these movie tarot cards because they are also the major arcana, and they're also very powerful with the archetypes. Each film, when you look at the movies, bringing you up to date into the modern understanding of what the archetypes mean. Every single film, when you analyse it, has got archetypal characters in it, doesn't it? You know, I know a lot of modern day films, they don't have archetypal characters often that can deal with clairvoyance or talk about fate, or do they? Some films do talk about synchronicity and fate, and some films talk about being creative and making your own fate. So I would say this one, the vision, is creating your own fate and making your own future. The Kairos one is waiting for the divine timing and the divine guidance before you take your own steps. And the unseen one is where you can link with spirit for advice and guidance directly. So that's interesting, isn't it? Shall we see what other cards can go? What other tarot cards are going to go with these three piles? Because we haven't really got a question, we're just learning about the archetypes. Dear Guardian Angels, thank you ever so much for allowing us this little journey. Now, from the depth of the information coming out of this book, this could be a 6-month journey, honestly, for us to learn how to have a deep understanding and connection with spirit using the archetypes and having a look at deeper knowledge. Right, and these two fell out, so I'm taking these two as well. These other cards I'm using, the Lightseer Tarot. These are all my newest cards that I've got here. I haven't got the old cards, so I'm just doing a new reading for this new information which is coming our way in the form of these round disc types. Thank you, Guardian Angels, for allowing me to open these cards. Please bring the right cards forward to help this person understand their path in life and their role, because we all have a role, and that's the argument about this. It's some people really dislike that idea. Some people really averse to the idea that everything is written down before we get here. Some people like to think we've got complete freedom This is the complete freedom card to create everything yourself. These two, a bit more open-minded. This one with the idea that you know there's a cosmic clock and you know. And equally, maybe there are some people who do just have complete freedom and some people that have to be guided by the cosmic clock because they haven't got the spiritual, they haven't evolved spiritually to be able to have complete freedom. And there are some people who like to communicate directly, so they're given information to know what to do, when to do it. That's true, isn't it? We're not all the same, and whatever our purpose of life and whatever reason we're here, we have to also recognise that we could all be here for different reasons. Now, I feel that one needs to. I also feel that when we come into connection with another person on the planet, we are, at the same time, we're often on a very similar wavelength because the fact that we're all here at the same time. Do you get me? If we were all very, very different, would we have anything to do with each other? Because I do like to believe that there's some, external intelligent force that's able to, listen about these cards, that's able to guide and direct and help us. I just like the idea that we're all here just willy-nilly and it's all very haphazard and there's no structure. I like the idea of structure. It makes me happy to think that something or somebody up there knows what we're all doing here. Now, I haven't had an Untethered Soul card for a while because these are new cards. And think about it, when you live through life and you go through life, you don't always come up with information like this in every life. Not every life ever uncovers archetypes or the knowledge of the archetypes, do they? It's not for everyone because not everyone wants to expose themselves to a level of communication that says, yeah, guess what? There's somebody that's been here before. There's someone that's already lived this experience that you're living. All you're doing is walking through a pattern of a previous life experience. You're not doing anything new, dear loved one. And this is interesting, isn't it? So we've got awakening consciousness come up for this one with the eye. We've got freeing yourself, which comes up for the one that thinks that they can only do the steps that I've already set out. And for the person who believes they've got complete freedom, we've got going beyond. So the person who believes they've already got as much freedom as they could possibly need, they're being given a card that suggests go even further. Take it even further. Keep going. Okay? Okay. We'll keep going then. We'll open another card. 2 on that one. And 1 here. And we'll just have a little look, shall we? Shall we open one of these packs? Shall we open the one that says everything happens because it's already preordained? King of Cups. Okay. Look at this. We love Bill Murray, don't we? There's Bill Murray doing his thing. He's got that look about him that says, look, it's pointless in fighting fate. It's absolutely pointless. There's nothing you can do about it. Just resign and accept your fate. Right? Now, we don't know, do we, if that is a rule for everyone or if it's a rule for people who have accepted that before they got here. We don't know if people have asked for it before they got here. We don't know if people are happy to accept their fate in a way they're giving up control to something higher than themselves. That which is blocked and buried within you forms the root of fear. And fear is caused by blockages in your energy. Okay. Well, we don't like the idea of fear, do we? Ooh, look at this. Perfect. Look at that. Perfect outcome. So what's happening here then? If you go along with your higher self and your higher nudges and just wait and be wise and use your words wisely, you have a positive outcome. You also have financial harmony. What's this? We get everything we want. 2 Six of Pentacles from 2 different packs. So if you stick to the divine timing and stick to the rules of the game, you can have everything you want. 3 of Pentacles, the power. Look at this. Beyond illusion. Okay, so this is for a person that knows how to play the game of life. If you can play the game so that you're linked up with your higher self, and you can let go of fear, and you can recognise that you don't have to do any fighting for this, you can go beyond the illusion that we're currently living through. Because think about that, with the stories that we tell ourselves, and with the archetypes come the stories. If you can go beyond the stories that we tell ourselves, what is beyond that? It's a good question, isn't it? Let me know if you feel anything about this reading. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. This person believes they've got absolute freedom to imagine what they want, and follow synchronicities and create their own reality. Okay, now the argument is that we've all got that. Look at this. Being calm and having control over your emotions. So recognising that what you give out is what comes back to you. Again, we've got the 2 of Cups. We've got these 2 chalices. It's being calm and offering love, and having a belief in that what you're giving out is coming back to you. Having complete confidence in the universe. Look at this. It's beautiful, isn't it? Would you like to go beyond yourself? Would you like to feel no edges? No edges. I feel no edges. How do you feel about that? Well, 10 of Pentacles and a happy family life. You can create that if that is what you want. If that is what you want, you can go out and create it. Look at this. Projections. 2 faces. 2 faces. The dream. 2 faces. 2 owls. 2 cups. All the 2s. Okay, the dream. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And the dream of 2 people. But you can create this. So whatever you can create and imagine, you can bring it into being. That is the theory, isn't it? This is very much the law of attraction theory. And being calm and knowing that you've got control over how you feel will help you follow your vision and bring into being what you want, what you desire, what you're looking for. What you're looking for isn't on the outside. What you're looking for is in the creation of your imagination. So you imagine it, then you start believing it, it starts coming into being. You create it because you are a creator of your own reality. I don't think everyone gets to this level, you know. I don't think everyone can believe this, because you have to believe this to be able to see it happen. And that's a big ask, isn't it? Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye for now. So last but not least, we have the unseen. This is the person that knows that there's a universe, that knows there's a God or an entity or something bigger than us watching. The King of Wands. This is the person who believes in God, and a person who knows that they're not on their own, that you haven't got full control over what you do, or this person believes this. Awakening consciousness. If you go very deep, that is where you live. You live in the seat of consciousness. A true spiritual being lives there without effort and without intent. Without effort, just live there knowing that you're being watched. The 7 of Wands and the King of Wands. This person knows they're not as powerful as God, but they also believe, without the 8 of Wands, that they've been given the power to make changes in their own life, but they believe the power has come from the external. Power has come from God. Look at that, Page of Wands. So they feel great because they know they've got the power from God, but they also know that they're not as powerful as God. I can't believe this. Look at this. Now, I'm not sure if that's the 10 of Swords or the 10 of Wands, but it looks like a person who has surrendered. A person who has surrendered to a higher power. And there's nothing wrong with that, because look what happens when you do. You have complete harmony, and your existence has meaning, because you know that you can look to the external for support and power and help, and you know it's going to come to you because you believe it. You know your role in the universe, you know where you sit in, you know where you blend, you know how to ask for what you want, and you believe it's going to be brought to you, and so it is. Wow, I love that reading. Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye for now.